So this is going to be a buyer beware, or if you already have this card and you've decided to water cool it with an EKW uh, TF6, whatever the hell this is. Um, there we go. That's what I have. That's 1080 version. Anyway. Yep. Okay, this is the one I have. So if you're going to be using this, or possibly even the 1080 the 1080 Ti version, this is going to be a buyer's beware. For those who don't know. So this is my rig, and I built this about a year ago. I did feature this on my channel that I will be probably posting this to, but I've pretty much stopped doing YouTube for the most part, and I decided to just close down the channel most of the videos. I was unhappy with their quality, plus I just decided to maybe lessen my online exposure, because I had some kind of incident I don't want to divulge into. But anyway, this is the system that I built, and it has an MSI Gaming X 1070 and a GTX 1070, the Gaming X model. And I decided to go balls to the wall and put a water block on it because, I'm an idiot. Why would the fuck would you do that? Well, because I did. Anyway, there's no reason why, but because I did. But in my excitement of building the system, I never noticed this, and I never noticed an issue that I had. Of the block itself, not the card, but the block. So when I was looking through, I decided to just yesterday take the card apart because I've always been having issues with just the general speed. For instance, this was me doing testing, and you can see that 63 degrees for water cooled. I'm only doing 1076 megahertz. And I'm getting power and voltage limits already, even though the limit's all the way to 100. And to me, it's just off from the videos I've seen online. I can't go over a certain core clock, otherwise it just crashes. So I'm like, well, I might as well just take it apart and see. I don't know. But what I discovered is utterly, truly shocking. This is directly from EK's website, but this is definitely a 1070 or at least a 1080. I think that the VRM, the PCB design of the 1070 and 1080 from they're identical. Basically, the PCB design is identical for the 1070 and the 1080 chip by the seams of it. So here you have your power phases. This section here is for the memory, and all of these is for the chip, and then you have the controllers along here. These will downgrade the voltages to something that is acceptable to be shoved into the CPU to feed the power. From I think 12 volt through the PCI Express, PCI plugs. I'm not entirely sure the voltage. I'm not a computer engineer. I just know a little bit about technologies and computers. These need to be cooled, and EVGA has found that out the hard way because a little while back they had the issue of forgetting to put thermal pads along the VRMs and the cooling solution that they had for their VRMs. This is the stock cooling solution for the VRMs. Is this heat fin array, where you have the main radiator for the GPU here, but then you have just the fins here that are just making direct contact for cooling. So, there you go. Maybe that's which way. So when you put a water block on, and a full coverage water block, the one I have here, you're expecting to have, your VRMs covered, and they specifically, I think, non-reference design, block directly contacts the GPU, as well as the voltage regulator modules, as water flows directly over these critical areas. You know what? They don't when you fuck up the machining and design of your block. So for $150, you get the VRM killer of a lifetime. Seriously. Look at this. I don't have photos directly of my block because it's on my card and I'm currently recording on my PC because I'm just using an interim solution. But along here, you see how this is machined. So this is fine. This is fine in and of itself. And that will be cooling your VRMs, at least 2 of them. And then all of a sudden, it depresses. And then it goes off in this little whoop-de-doo, and that will control cool your control modules. What about all the rest of the freaking VRMs? They're not making direct contact when you're using, like, stock thermal pads. They're not. Like, legitimately, half of the VRMs are not half, almost all of the VRMs are not being cooled. Like, seriously. And I did the only thing that I could think of doing, other than putting the stock cooler back on, to see if this would work or not. And I'm going to just launch War Thunder here. So this is the stock. What has been going on for a year. This is what the card has always looked like. So only 1076 with all these current power settings. I currently have, if we open up Afterburner, this is what my current settings are. So if we go into test drive, oh, of course, because fucking it's stupid. Graphics full screen. Options, full window, because it's stupid like that. Shit. Oh, great. For freak's sakes. That just screwed with all my settings. That's great. Whatever, I don't care. So, apply. Wait for it to do that. Resume. So this is what my card is currently doing. It is currently now running over 100 megahertz, almost nearly 100 megahertz faster. No, it is, actually. No, it's running not quite 100 megahertz, but either which way. And the voltage is now at 1093, when it was originally limited to 180, 1.80, whatever. All I've done is literally take all the thermal pads that I've had and stack them upon each other, so it's making the VRMs is now making contact with the block, and actually heat transfer is taking place. So, buyer beware. If you are currently having a water-cooled GTX 1070 from MSI that's non-reference, take your block off, either throw it in the trash, demand a refund, or get really thick thermal pads, or use all the freaking ones you have, and get your full performance out of your card, and try not to damage it any more than it's already is. Because EVGA already experimented with this, as I've said. This is the result of forgetting to properly cool your VRMs. Yeah, I don't know how else to say this one. Anyway, I hope you find this kind of information helpful. Yeah, I don't know what other water blocks are available. I wouldn't use the EK one if I had known this. I've tried to find a different model. I don't know if there's any other available. It's simple as that, because it's easier to get a custom freaking card than it is a Founders Edition, really. And generally, you'll get better performance out of a custom card than a Founders Edition, because they have more serious power, etc. But yeah, I don't know how else to say that. Either which way, I don't understand how such an oversight can happen with that, considering I've never heard anybody having such an issue, and there's a few videos of people putting this block onto 1070s from MSI, and including me, but I never... Wow. Just wow. It's unbelievable to me. Anyway, I'm Direwolf. I hope you find this video a bit helpful in your buying choices, because at this price, no, just say no, because they're basically bending you over and doing their way with you and possibly going to kill your card. Simple as that. So, have a nice day. I hope unfortunately, if this is, you already have a block with a card, your card already with this block on it, take it apart. Get all the thermal pads that you either have, or get extra thick thermal pads, and put it across your VRMs, and make sure it's being compressed and making contact with the block, and heat transfer is taking place. Otherwise, you're limiting both your performance of your card, and you're damaging it. You're possibly very well damaging it. So yeah, I'm Direwolf again. I'm just ranting. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm just really upset.